Today, Pierre Poilievre, the leader of the Conservative Party of Canada, took a strong stance against puberty blockers for the use of gender dysphoric children. Hormones are powerful and they do a lot. They do have risks and they bring about a ton of changes. But I'm not going to get into that here. I'll be doing a column on this, and depending on if I meet my filing deadline tonight, I might have it out by tomorrow. But there's one thing that's almost being intentionally overlooked by some of the people who are pushing for an all-out ban. And that is this. People who are gender dysphoric are dysphoric because in our society, we treat girls and boys, or men and women, entirely differently. We make sex matter in ways that actually have nothing to do with sex. And if you're dysphoric because you wish you were treated in the way that you're not, then you really, really want to pass or be able to convince people that you are the sex that you are not. Because there are real-world implications to whether the world perceives you as male or female. And people who are gender dysphoric want to blend in as their affirmed sex so that they'll be treated that way. And that is what childhood hormones are all about, because especially if you're biologically male, you are probably not going to pass if you do not transition pre-puberty. Look at me. I am the perfect walking example of what happens when you don't suppress a male puberty before transitioning. I transitioned as an adult, and even though I've been on estrogen for 6 years, most people can tell that I'm biologically male. And I'm at peace with that. I think I look fine, and I love myself for who I am. And yet, I receive hundreds of tweets, messages, emails, and comments every single week saying some of the most derogatory things I've seen in my life simply because I am trans. Or to be more accurate, because I'm trans and they can tell. When I'm in the news, which I am a lot, sometimes even defending the beliefs of the gender-critical individuals, I get attacked for my appearance regularly. And recently when I was in the news talking about my daughter's appendicitis in Ontario's failed healthcare system, which has nothing to do with transgender matters, I was still deriled and ridiculed for my appearance in hundreds and hundreds of comments. This is why people want to go on blockers. This is why there's such an obsession with transitioning young. And there are plenty of risks to transitioning young. There's plenty we don't know. And it may very well be better for people to wait. But if you're going to tell these kids and their families that they must wait for hormones and blockers, that they do not have the parental rights to decide which path is best for them, then would it also not be good to put in a place for how we plan to deal with the hate that they'll receive when they transition later and don't end up passing? Because my only motivation to want to pass today is to not have to face the derogatory treatment that I receive every single day for being trans. This isn't just about hormones. This is about something so much larger. One side says they are protecting children by keeping them from making decisions early in life that they might regret. The other side says they are protecting children by reducing their dysphoria now by presenting a path where they won't be dehumanized their whole life for not passing. These conversations are linked and they intersect. Let's actually have that larger conversation that acknowledges both of these sides and doesn't just ignore the inconvenient points that our side doesn't want to hear.